Hey everyone, how's it going tonight? My name's Spencer, and this is Cory, the Stack Man. And we are best ball draft addicts here to draft again with you guys tonight.
You don't
Or
got any of them drafts?
got any of them drafts over here? Or if there's anyone that still has their Corgi that wants to draft with us, maybe you don't want to draft with us and you just want to follow along. But we're going to be doing two Corgi drafts tonight. Cory is going to do his, and I was just kind of going through things with him. This is going to be his first time sharing his screen and going through things. So, kind of being the host duties. So, Cory, if we have any holdups, I don't think we will. I think we got it. But if we do, we'll get her figured out.
We got a fellow Cory in the room.
We
Hello,
sure
sir.
do.
Happy Saturday night.
Another Cory in the room.
Yes, Chad. I told Spencer earlier, I was like, dude, half the show could be just today's news. That's it.
I know. There's so much to talk about.
Nuts.
But yeah, so we are
Yeah.
the Corgi. Just for anyone that doesn't know, what we're going to be doing tonight is Cory's going to do his entry, and then I'm going to do my entry. And tonight, that's all that we're going to do. Unless Cory, you want to stay on, but I'm going to hop off because I'm going to see Spider-Man tonight. Super.
I saw it earlier today, so
Cory saw it earlier today. Yep. So my show starts in 2.5 hours, and it's 30 minutes away. So I got about 2 hours stream here with you guys. Cory Squad.
If you were really committed, you'd stream during the movie.
I know. I should.
No spoilers, though.
Chad says Xavier Worthy is the closest news today. Okay, so Cory, talk about Xavier Worthy first. Kick that off with what you know about old Worthy dog.
Yeah, Xavier Worthy hurt his shoulder, if that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
That's basically what killed his season last year. Every report I've seen since that it's not serious, he should be good to go. And then maybe a lesser known name now, but a name that I've actually been starting to see creep up in ADP, like in the 18th round, is Cyrus Allen. Yeah, so Cyrus Allen, 5th round rookie. He really showed out in OTAs, and then so far in training camp, Mahomes has had a connection. It's been reported by beat writers that Cyrus Allen is getting a lot of looks, that they have a chemistry, and he's been starting to pop up in ADP. And then he, on a special teams play, he got hurt, and he made it look like it was devastating. And to Chad's point, it was a shin bruise. So 2 huge scares, and what was probably a wake-up call for the Chiefs, and that we're a couple injuries away from our receiving room just being absolutely awful. It's not great right now, but I've said all along, we are a Rashee Rice injury away from having the worst receiver room maybe in football. Probably better than the Dolphins. But outside of that, yeah. It's better than the Dolphins, but it's close. So yeah, a couple scares there. Obviously, the big news this week, fantasy-wise, Ricky Pearsall. The report, well, first it was like, okay, he's maybe going to miss a little time. And then it just happened so fast that it was thought that he could be done for the year. Now today, officially, he's having surgery. He's out for the season completely. And so the 49ers signed Deebo Samuel. So that's one of those dominoes that we've been waiting on. One of the old guys finally signed, and Deebo lands in a great spot, in my opinion. We're not drafting the Deebo of old, but at least there's no, he doesn't have to get up to speed or anything like that. He knows the system. He actually had a really nice chemistry with Brock Purdy. So I don't think it affects Evans negative at all. Yeah, I did see Matt. I watched a little of Maddox, but I had it on in the background, and he was freaking out over as that Chiefs news was rolling in. And he was like 10
years from Worthy
news.
Right.
Yeah, seriously, he was, because he is. He had just shown his shares too. He's overweight on him big time. But yeah, and then he was like, man, I guess maybe wheels up on Tyquan. I popped in to say, like, I'm actually 30% Tyquan already. It just Homer Simpson fade away. Yeah. So the Pearsall news, Debo news, that was big. Chris Brazel, if you're a Brazel drafter like I was and Spencer was early in the process, we took
early.
a lot of round 18 shares of him. He is out for the season for his LCL. So he gone. I did see Dejon Stribling left today with a hammy. So, and I'm telling you, people laugh. It's that power plant, dude. It's the power plant.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
I even saw a fun, like someone said, like, man, that power plant is in mid-season form already. 49ers dropping like flies. So yeah, and then Kelsey, yeah, say Kelsey's been my number one tight end by a mile. As far as exposure, and yeah, I'm pushing 30 on Taekwon. So I'm pretty in. Trying to think. I don't think there was any because I'm guilty of staying like very plugged into the Chiefs and all how that's going. So sometimes some stuff. So Chad, if I'm missing anything, feel free to jump in there. But I feel like I got most of what was like that was at least the news from today that I saw that came across mine.
Yep. So, couple takeaways that I personally I've had from this stuff this week. Number one in Carolina, like you said, both me and you, we had already kind of stopped taking razzle brazzle. So that didn't hurt as much. I was at 10%. So what it does for me is it doesn't move Jalen McMillan, or I'm sorry, Teteroa McMillan for me. He's where he is, right? Yeah. But it maybe does give a slight bump to Jalen Coker if you had any sort of fears of him, which you did. And then the one guy that me and you have not drafted at all, I don't think one time, that I will click his name now whenever I do have some Bryce Young teams in round 18. I think Xavier Legette is now very much back in play as far as a round 18 option. So to me, Legette's
not my favorite, but
yeah,
sure.
But I've not done it yet. But if I have, the way I see it is, if I have a Bryce Young and I'm looking for an 8th wide receiver in round 18, and I don't have a buy 5, that's what I'm going to kind of be looking at.
What's up, Hartman?
What's up, buddy?
We're just talking through all the like 5,000 injuries that have happened in just a couple days.
Oh God, I know. And then my other takeaway for me is with the Chiefs. Like you had mentioned Cyrus Allen, I noticed that Cyrus Allen's name has started to be creeping up to Taekwon's in the ADP. Whenever I was drafting one of the mini schnauzers this morning, I'm like, it was in the last round. I'm like, holy crap. So as far as the 49ers, so we will find out what a whirlwind of Debo signing, which, I've been saying this whole summer, 49ers or Commanders, he's got to go back to one of those two. And he goes back to the 49ers. And as far as him signing, it's what a whirlwind, with also coinciding with the Ricky Pearsall out for the year, because Zero had talked to us about, this was a while back, a couple weeks ago. And I remember we were talking in one of our streams about Debo, and he said he thought once Debo signs that he's going to go back up to like the Parker Washington range. Remember that? And I was like, I think he'll move up a few rounds, but I don't think he's going to move up drastically, because most people think Debo's cooked, even if he goes back to the 49ers. But that was not with the idea of also Ricky Pearsall being out for the year at the same time. And then now people getting a little scared off of my boy Stribbers, So I've seen Debo skyrocketing. I mean, Debo's been going in these drafts I've been doing in the 110s. Maybe some drafts even higher.
I was gonna say I haven't seen that, but I've seen. I mean, he's definitely a top. I think the highest maybe I've seen is maybe in the 130s. I don't think I've seen him go as high in the 110s. I don't think I'd be willing to do that, but and thankfully, I mean, just personally, it sucks for people that did have the Ricky bags. It's going to happen over the season. I'm going to have plenty of bags that get dropped, but this one is one that a bullet I actually avoided. I had 1% Pearsall and 8% Debo. Just because not much of it. I like the Pearsall talent. I just need to see it for a full season first. So I just didn't really, and he also, it was a lot of time it was his name, the other names around him I just usually liked more, but
Yeah.
it sucks because I mean, if that dude plays a full season, I mean, he has ceiling. I mean, wide receiver 2 ceiling, not overall, but a wide receiver 2 ceiling.
And the question is now, will we ever see a full season? I guess we'll find out in the future. But yeah, Cory says here, load up on Kittle. And I agree with this. So I agree.
Yeah, and don't let the pup stuff scare you on Kittle right now. It doesn't mean anything.
And then Chad says, Keyshawn Butte could go to Casey.
That wouldn't shock me. Well, it's funny too. Is first, like, whenever the injuries went down and stuff, immediately, I'm like, I start already thinking, I'm like, okay, how soon until the Giants cut Juju and we have to bring Juju back again because he knows the system and he loves his guys that know the system.
Juju's coming back to the Chiefs, no doubt about it.
I'm sure he will.
He's going to. Chad, less than 8% Pearsall, over 30% Debo. Nice one, Chad. Good job, buddy.
Hold the bag at the right time there.
I told Cory whenever he messaged me his 1 and 9, I sent back in screenshots through my 550 drafts. I was 2% Pearsall and 10% Debo. So I felt really good about that. And I've been all aboard as you very well know, the Mike Evans, George Kittle, and Deshaun Stribling train, and Christian McCaffrey this whole time. These are the guys I've been going after. Harbaugh might keep him just to screw KC.
Maybe
talking about.
Right. So I think I don't remember if this happened last time we streamed yet. Jordan James broke his rib, broken ribs, gonna miss I don't think 4 to 6 weeks or something like that. So basically, he's gonna miss. Yeah, so Kalen Black's probably. I mean, that's big for him in that the RB. He's going to probably see the RB2 snaps in camp, and you got to imagine they're not going to give CMC much of anything in the preseason games. So Kalen Black has the opportunity.
Got the opportunity.
He just has to. He has to take it. So if that's a pretty solid dart throw in round 18 right now.
Yep. I hadn't been interested in Kalen Black or in Jordan James this whole summer, but I have a little bit of interest in Kalen Black now, but not on McCaffrey team. At least not in. Now, I'm not talking about redraft. I'm talking in our best balls. I don't want him that. I would take an occasional Black though, although I normally am not looking at any running backs at the end. I've normally always done.
Yeah.
Good Shedeur news.
He's
your boy, Chad. Anything. He's searching Shedeur constantly on Twitter.
Speaking of boys, Alec Pierce, the greatest receiver in best ball history, I'm told, as the GM Chris Ballard came out and said that they're probably a couple of weeks away from him returning to practice.
Okay.
So still some time.
Hey, that's fine by me. That's I don't really care if these guys like this that are established don't really play.
Have little to no shares, so
in the preseason. So hey, if he's there at the beginning of the season, that's good for me. But buddy, I'd say before we wait too much longer, and you can keep talking while we wait. Why don't you get joined in your Corgi? So do a countdown for people. If there is anyone that's watching that wants to do a Corgi with Cory, this is going to be Cory's draft. I'm not going to do this.
Cory's Corgi. We got two Corgis for a Corgi fan.
And then I'm going to what a time to be alive. And then I'll do my Corgi after this before I got to take off and get to Spider-Man. So, hey, we got it's the Cory's Corgi. Cory's joining with you. Cory in the house.
Let's go. All right. Let's do it. Okay, so we are going to count down from our trademarked, patented, never fails 9 count. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter.
Cory says,
waiting for 2 people.
But it's
waiting for 1.
Oh, beautiful. That must have been the 2 Corys just joined, only waiting for 1. I hope mine works out that good. where we don't have to wait forever and a day. Because that's one thing I was kind of worried about with the Corgi in a single entry is what if we click to join whenever it was at like 10 or 11, people left, and then it sits there and waits and we have to wait 20 minutes.
All right, let's see. Cory, did you get in here? What's your handle?
He said spot 5. And Chad.
Spot 5. Okay. Yep. I do see Chad.
Okay, now,
all right.
Cory, once you get your board loaded in the new tab and share that tab, then you can go ahead and switch our view of our screen to get that on here for the guys.
Oops. Okay.
It's triple C's. Cory, Chad, Cory.
All right, remind me when I'm clicking again.
Okay, so did you click the little up arrow to open the draft board into the...
That's I think where... And I think it's because my view isn't... Okay. There we go. That's what I was missing. I was too zoomed in to see the little arrow. Okay. I'm sharing that instead. And then how do I get it over back to where I need it to be?
Okay, so then once you got that, did you hit share that tab? And once you do, then here I can switch us, but it's this view here. Okay.
Oh, right. I'm switching.
Now I see it, guys. But you need to go back and do a little bit of a zoom in because we can't. Okay, there we go. That's the spot right there. That's the sweet spot, baby.
And so when you do this, are you drafting on your phone?
Yeah, that's how I do it. Is I always have my phone here next to me, and I click the draft button on my phone while we're streaming. I mean, you could go right back over because you can still do it on your computer if you wanted, but
yep. I got my phone right now.
Sauce God, what's up tonight, buddy? He says, out of all the odds, there's 3 Corys in here. There's a third Cory? That is hilarious.
Oh, wow. Fun.
It's nice that you aren't right next to each other for sure. So, but Chad, wait a second. Is Chad who's in?
Chad's 7.
5. Okay.
Yep, he's in 5. So, Chad is in 7.
Yep, I see. So Chad got Caffrey, and then Cory into house is Crowman, right? Is that what I'm seeing? CRO?
Yes, sir. Yep, that's him.
The Crowman's ready. All right, Cory. You got CD Lamb. Back to you. What are you going to do? Single entry. You know what Spence would do? He'd Brock Bowers the crap out of this thing.
I know.
You going running back, I'm assuming.
I'm going Bowers.
Nope. Oh, look at my boy. I've put my influence on you.
Yeah,
my Bowers.
But when it's a one shot kind of deal, I'm kind of regretting Lamb a little bit. I kind of wish I would have gone like, hey, I could have Genty Bowers it, but yeah, I'm going with it being the one shot. We'll go Bowers.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you're right, buddy. Yeah, we barely play DK. We just did our basically only DK draft on the last stream. Yeah. And Chad says Neighbors has been going as high as 18 in these. I told Cory earlier this morning that I got in just a mini schnauzer this morning randomly that Young Moolah, who's our guy Gab, was in, and I saw Young Moolah grab Neighbors in round 2. And I noted it. I was like, he ain't afraid to move him up to round 2. Cory says, I think for week 15 advancement is important in this one. 1 out of 10. Yep. Okay, so Chad got Derrick Henry. So Chad has started off McCaffrey and Derrick Henry.
Open up an old folks home.
Open up an old folks home. But I've done that many times, of course. Sure. And then Cory into house went with JSN and Devin Achane. So I was just telling Cory this week. So I make these pages. I'm going to be doing a rankings, and I want to do a rankings video for positions and talk about players and show the stats that I kind of do for myself. And when I made my HN page, one big standout for him is he is close to the most consistent double-digit points a game running back for the last 2 seasons that's out there, if not the number one most consistent week-by-week option. So, and he has super high ceiling. So I was not taking a bunch of HN because there's so many good round 2 running backs that I like. Plus, I love Bowers. Plus, I love AJ Brown. But I'm like, man, I need to put some more focus to build some HN shares up. I don't want to be at 2 or 3%. I want to be closer to the 8%. So, okay. Chad got Kyron Williams, 3 straight RBs. Back to you, Corey. What are you doing? Talk it out with us.
It's a single shot. Go with your guys who you're most confident with. I'm taking Ladd McConkey.
There it is. I love seeing that for you.
I will say, like, again, I'm regretting a little bit that CD Lamb one. I've always been a Lamb guy, but yeah, I kind of wish I would have went running back there. But we'll make up for it.
Yeah, and if you would have,
fine.
Just a question: if you could go back and redo that pick right now, would you have gone Genty or Cook?
Genty, yeah. It would have been Ashton Genty. I would have gone there.
Yep.
Genty and then Bowers on the swing, and we're just stack-a-lack-a-ding-dong.
Yeah, and actually lived up to your name.
I know, right? I wanted to point out real quick, Malik Neighbors at 26. That is, if you're just joining, ever since this past week when the reports and videos of Malik Neighbors looking amazing came out, Neighbors, get your round 3 shares while you still can, because we're not very far from him being a
back to
slam dunk second round. And yeah. Okay, we are going to go Josh Jacobs here.
All right.
I like him as an anchor running back. I'm a Jacobs fan. I've been off ETN all summer. I do love me some Garrett Wilson. It was kind of tough to pass that up, but we said in the very beginning, and I stand by it, that Josh Jacobs is probably the last of the guys there that I'll feel comfortable as my RB1. Because I think Josh Jacobs will get the volume to be an anchor.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you, especially if I've waited like you just did to get my first RB in round 4. I want to get a guy that I feel confident in that can be that, and that is Josh instead of ETN or Scattaboo. Now, you could make the argument for Scattaboo if there was no health risk, but there's a big health risk, as we know. And Chad, I know you've talked about this. I put the wrong comment up here. I've seen you talk about this, Chad, that you do the antithesis for your single entries where or high dollar things where you do actually against the grain of what you normally do. This is bold, but I kind of like it, but at the same time, I try to get my most elite possible plays for what I think whenever I'm in a single entry. And Sauce God says, I like Liam's take that Neighbors in the second is drafting at his max payoff. Personally, I think his max payoff would be if you were taking him in the Jefferson CD Lamb range at the end of 1, but that's basically second. So I kind of get the point.
I think he has a higher ceiling than, he's going around like Devontae Smith, Zay Flowers. He's got a much higher ceiling than them. And I could see him. And then, George Pickens going where I know he had the year last year, but when CD Lamb's on the field, it's not the same. And that's what Pickens ADP has just bothered me all off season, basically.
I know.
Neighbors even after knowing that about the ACL, until we got the news and that video of him at the softball tournament came out, he was comfortably going ahead of Drake London.
Mm-hmm. So Corey into House is up right now. He's the one who grabbed him the fall of Travis Etienne, which that was a really nice fall, falling to the end of the 4th round, especially according to his ADP. And then he goes Christian Watson to take the upswing. Christian Watson, I know Packers by 11, JSN by 11, starting off double by 11s. Chad going with Lamar Jackson, getting that ace top end quarterback. I like doing that as well in single entries, even more than normal drafts. I like to try to get Lamar or Josh Allen. And now, to Stack Man, back to you.
One
Talk
away.
it out.
We're one away. We are one away.
All right.
Yep.
What you doing?
We are going with Quinshawn Judkins. So pushing running back till round 4 and coming away with Jacobs Judkins, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yep, both their double by 11s there. That's a Cory thing.
Yeah.
Double by 11s at a position. And Cory, what's your answer to that?
Buys aren't real. They're propaganda to scare you.
Yep. That's the story. Henry Lamar stack is necessary. Yeah, I love that. I love that, Chad.
Let's see here. All right, DJ Moore goes and BTJ. The only thing at the back, I will say the only thing I don't like about taking Bowers on this side of the board is then Tyler Warren is just hanging out there, and it's a bummer.
Yep, it's a bummer. I know. Vegeta, what's up, buddy? Mike Evans on ESPN going round 5-6 turn seems crazy to me. I smash it every time I see it, especially with Pearsall being hurt. Buddy, you know I am all aboard that train as well. I mean, I'm Mike Evans truther number 1. I pretty much always have been. Look at you.
I've been so Jadarian Price, and again, week 11. I don't care. I'll figure it out. That's 1 week. 1 week.
But like going Jadarian Price in a single entry.
Yeah. I think that's. I mean, because
you feel that much better about him than Jaylen Warren or Tony Pollard.
I do actually, because I think that again with the Charbonnet news and all reports coming out so far. Now again, it's early training camp, but I really have been wanting to get more to Darian Price because the first round capital, a good team, and then just Charbonnet doesn't seem to, and I've been skeptical that he's going to return to performance early at least. So yeah, I do think that Jadarian Price, people might stay away from him in this kind of format too, but not me. I'm actually good with it. And there really is no one really I was like super in love with. Like
you would have taken Tyler. You would have taken Tyler Warren.
Oh, sure. If I didn't have Bowers, if I would have gone running back instead of Bowers, that would have been Tyler Warren smash. Easiest pick I'd make the whole draft. I love Tyler Warren. He's my set. I think my exposure is number 2 on him behind Kelsey. But yeah, I really have come around on Jadarian Price as far as just everything I've seen, and that I think he's going to be the guy up front.
Now, if you could go back right now, would you rather have Ken Walker or Chase Brown plus Tyler Warren, or would you rather have Bowers and Price?
We don't live with regrets, man. It's just Bowers.
All right, Bowers just good. That's right. Don't even use the mental power. It is what it is. Bowers is the answer.
Bowers is the answer no matter what.
All right, so to get caught up on what our guys have been doing here, so it was Chad. It was unlucky 13 Coy who was able to grab him the Tyler Warren because of you passing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm with you right there, Cory. That it's been one I've had to come around a little bit on, and I think some people got scared away by the reports that Charbonnet and there was a good chance he could be ready by week 1. Now that they're saying that could be a bit of a stretch, and Seattle's a good enough team to where they don't have to rush him back. You know, like I'm sure they want to start getting ROI on their investment. They spent a first round pick on him.
Yep, and so speaking of first round pick, so Cory into house, he took Mekhi Lemon, and then when it swung back around, grabbed my boy Jaylen Warren, who I personally would have taken instead of Price. Now it's back to you, Cory.
Do I go with my boy Chubby? Yeah, I'm going with Chuba Hubbard. I'm a Chuba guy.
4 straight rounds. 4 straight rounds.
Yeah. We're just knocking these running backs out early. Running backs dry up, man. So one argument I'd say for Price against Warren in that Price has the chance to be, if you're going to argue one way, I like Jalen Warren too. But I think Price has maybe a clearer path to being the RB1 on that team rather than Jalen Warren, because McCarthy, not only does McCarthy take over, so it's new offense, but then he brings over his guy, Enrico Dowdle. So it's going to be a straight timeshare there. And I like Jalen Warren. I've been drafting Jalen Warren, but I don't know. Like, I'm just starting to, I'd lean Price right there. But I know you're not a Price guy.
You know, your
price is wrong for you. Okay.
Did you make that?
We took Chris Godwin.
Okay. You got it in. All right, good. That's why.
Yep.
Okay. So you got Godwin. Now, real quick, Corey, one thing you've got to do is you need to go back over to this draft board and you'll need to kind of move it because otherwise, there you go. Yep.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, beautiful. All right. So to go back real quick for a second. So Corey in the house said he wanted Hurts to fall to him, but third RB was the move after that was off the board. I was going to say that, but I didn't have time because it was Corey's pick. But I was about to say, when you took Lemon, I guarantee you were looking at Hurts because of all those QBs, hoping he would fall back around. And then I love the pivot. To me, I think you're lucky that Jalen Warren fell to you there. And then Chad got DK Metcalf and just grabbed him right now. Rico Dowdle, double Steelers. You know, I'm a big fan of that. I do like Pittman more than DK, but I think DK is a good pick. And Chad earlier said to your heart, Corey, he says, even with my antithesis strategy, I'm still not picking up Pierce. That's how dookie he is.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's right there with you. I am in the, remember, I will draft Pierce, but I want him to fall to the late 80s or early 90s. I will not want to take him at the 70s.
So he went right around ADP, I guess, right? Yeah, 84.
What was his number?
I think he's 80 ADP is what I saw last.
And he went at 84?
And he went 84, so right around ADP.
Yeah,
so
I would have still wanted him to fall even more.
Yeah.
So,
but I have been getting more Godwin. I feel I do feel like I've been getting a little more Godwin on. I just I like him.
So Chris Godwin, one of my highest drafted wide receivers. What's made you kind of come around on taking more?
Oh, I'm not. It's not coming around. I'm not. It's not coming around. I've always liked Godwin. It's more so just trying to click his name a little bit more.
I see.
Especially with that's. So I don't know if you all have been drafting all week or whatever, but they had the Schnauzers, those $3 tournaments, and then the $1 Dalmatians, and those I've been using those. Just cranking away at those, and I still have a bunch of slows going, but I've been using those as ways to get exposures up. And just kind of get my shares up on some guys that I might be a little underweight on, with them being cheaper drafts that you could just knock a bunch out at a time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Since they want Hurts to use the center of the field more, quick on getting the ball, do you think Lemon could finish as a wide receiver 2 or better? Do you think they will move him all over like a St. Brown? The emphasis on the middle of the field stuff I get, because people were really that just got over. I mean, I get there's data to show that he doesn't, but I really like Mekhi Lemon talent. I just haven't. We've talked about this before, that I don't click on him very often because of his ADP. Just where he's going, I don't know. I'm just not 100% there with Philly being a run first offense, and now there is a lot of vacated targets from AJ Brown leaving, so that is absolutely a thing. But I don't know, something about it just I'm not 100% on board there with that with his ADP.
And just to let you know my thoughts, Vegeta. Yeah, I personally, this is kind of how I feel as well. I don't take, and I've talked about this, both Mekhi Lemon and Jordan Tyson, I don't hardly ever click their names, and it's because there are other people like the quarterbacks or Tyler Warren or Jalen Warren or someone that fell. I'm just always looking at someone else in round 6. So I'm very rarely looking at taking Lemon or Tyson unless they fall. They don't fall that often because there's always people willing to take them. So I don't have much, and I've been afraid, and I've said this on the channel. I'm deathly afraid of what that could mean at the end of the year if these guys are crushing it, because I think there is a chance they both could be beasts. They could be, and they could be top picks next year. But
Oh my
it is what
God,
it
he
is.
did.
Oh,
I
wow.
completely missed that. He went 72 overall.
Wow.
That's like 50 spots ahead of ADP. Oh my God, good eye, dude.
Good
That is nuts.
eye. Corey into house nailed that. I did not notice it either. It's a little small on my screen. I did not notice that, but that is someone who
She said.
100% believes in Travis Kelce. My goodness gracious. And Chad says he thinks the Eagles offense will be top 5. Chad also said earlier, who says I'm not taking Pittman too. And he did, which
There you go.
That's my man. Aaron Rodgers,
Thanks.
come on down later on. All right, Kyle Pitts for you. Is that, did you just grab Pitts?
No, I took Mason.
I
Pitts,
missed.
I like
Okay.
I did like the fall. I just went ahead and took Mason to round out my. I'm good with my RB room now. I'm totally fine with that RB room. But yeah, as far as like the Eagles offense, there's just I really do like them as a bounce back. It's a first time play caller, first time offensive coordinator, so we'll see. But it's I think there's plenty to be excited about. I know pushed back a lot on this, but the AJ Brown leaving thing, I really think that was. It wasn't the worst thing for them. Just because it had become such a distraction. Him and Jalen Hurts just were not clicking, and the play calling was awful in Philly last year. So I think it's a bounce back across the board for the Eagles.
Yep, and
that's a good point. The guy who took Kelce, just thinking that Worthy and is cooked and but respect. You could have had him a few rounds later, but he did go get Mahomes too. Mm-hmm. So,
yep. So just
you think it's Maddox burner?
Yeah, it is. If anyone was going to have a burner account, that's what he would be the one. So just to kind of recap real quick on our guys and what they've done. So the last 2 rounds, Chad took Pittman and Tyler Shuck. Tyler, I don't know if you had any Saints, but I know you loved the Saints. I don't think you did. I do know that as far as what Corey into house has done, he went with Laporta and Goff, got him some nice Lions back-to-back, and then Jordan Love, who paired with his Christian Watson from earlier. So 2 good quarterbacks. And then he just grabbed Jalen Coker, who we just discussed should probably get a little bit of a bump from the razzle-brazzle news.
A bump for the cokeheads. Am I right, bud?
Just a little bump for the Cokers.
Just a little bump for the cokeheads.
And yeah, I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, round 6 and 7 are what win your leagues, and that's why they could be part of that. 100%.
Your
could be
fellow
part
cokehead
of
there.
Yeah, they 100% could. However, there's just so many great players in those rounds. Again, when you're talking about Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts and Drake May and Tyler Warren, and I mean, it's just guys that absolutely can be league winners and give you at least me, a lot more confidence than Mekhi Lemon and Jordan Tyson.
One thing that we didn't cover that I wanted to throw out there was that Brock Purdy. We didn't talk about that, but I took him at 106. I liked the fall there. No stack pieces as of now. I could grab Ricky Pearsall here for the stack.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and grab Pearsall?
Dude, it's so terrifying being the one that gets autoed him or something. I'm like watching it and queuing like crazy.
Oh yeah, do not get autoed Pearsall for crying out loud.
Man, that is
especially in a single entry.
Yes, that would be a nightmare. I wonder
so you got
if
Diggs.
I should go.
Love the Diggs pick.
Yeah, Diggs. So Jacobs, Judkins, Price, Chuba, Mason. Do I go 6 RBs or stay at 5?
My opinion here, I would go
I've got
6
one more name.
Tyler Algier, I'm assuming.
Or actually, there's actually several names, but I also need a QB2.
We'll make this pick, and then I'll tell you my point. Why I think you need a 6.
All right, because he's my guy.
Okay.
We're going to take Keaton Mitchell.
So you are going to go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lock it up.
Yeah, right. Algier and all those guys. Like obviously Charbonnet was not going to happen, taking Price, but then like an Algier and Kamara. The reason why I went ahead and pulled the trigger now was because there are still guys on the board that I like. The next set of guys, there's no guarantees, especially when we're taking Travis Kelce as early as we are. There's no guarantees that the last bit of running backs that I'm comfortable drafting we're going to be there.
Algier, Kamara, etc.
Yeah, we got a Debo at 139.
Okay, we got a 139 Debo. Yeah, absolutely, bud. And I am completely good with it. Now, here's why I say you needed him. It's two reasons. One, what your final three had been Mason, Hubbard, and Jadarian Price. And with those three, and you waited until Josh Jacobs for your one, so you didn't have like a locked and loaded, like Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan or McCaffrey or something like that. So you waited. And then with those bottom three being Price, Hubbard, and Mason, all who could have holes poked in them, and you had 3 by 7 or by 11s, these are the reasons why I think you needed a 6th. But now you've done it. You're good. You don't have to take any more. You can focus on whatever else. You have one quarterback, correct? Brock Purdy is it. You have Brock Bowers, so you have double Brocks on the bookends. You've got what wide receivers? CD, Ladd, Godwin, Diggs. Is that it? Is it 4?
That's it. Yep. So, if there's one position that I'm comfortable at this point being, only having 3 or 4, it's receiver, because I love to hammer out receiver at the end, because we talked about it. Running back and rounds, honestly, 16, 17, 18 are just trash. Utter trash.
They're almost always zeros.
Yep.
Jeets, he says, what are your thoughts on the Kyler Murray doing bad gossip? Do you feed into it? Is Kyler just being Kyler, having trouble being a QB like normal? They say JJ is winning.
I did see the video. I don't know if this saw, but there was a side by side or there was they did of them running the same, it was the same play, the exact same throw. McCarthy goes back, hits it on the money. Kyler goes back and almost intercepted. I'm not buying into that, because this time last year I was buying JJ McCarthy. Everything was positive. Everything we'd seen looked good. And then when he lightened up training camp, then he gets out there and his first taste of the NFL, and the lights were way too bright for him. Just absolute atrocious quarterback play last year. Even though he'll tell you it's elite.
Corey, talk through your pick here, and then I'll give my thoughts real quick.
What my pick is going to be?
You're up to 2. Well, talk through it here.
Yeah. So I do need a quarterback again, but actually I think I've got my plan here, and it's going to be shout out 0. It's going to be Trey Tucker. So now I've got a certain stack on my mind, not here, but we're getting there.
Beauty. Oh, hey, nice, Chad. David Peterson. He advanced 3. He just had to get off the Mets. That's what it was. He just had to get off the Mets to help you. Good luck, bud. Good luck, Chad. I'll be talking about my baseball teams next week. Real quick, my thoughts on Kyler. I think Kyler sucks. I've thought he sucked for years. I've said this the entire summer. I will draft Kyler every once in a while because his rushing upside is what makes his fantasy profile elite. And I don't want to have none of someone that has the potential for weeks that he could win you. But with all of that said, I've been like, Kyler could lose his job at any point to JJ McCarthy, who is terrible. But Kyler could be that much worse. So you take him for the upside, and then you could lose him at any point. Who did you just grab? Juwan Johnson?
I took Juwan Johnson. Stroud was the only reason is because of who the quarterback I'm planning to take later. That would have been it would have been stupid. I'll explain later. Go ahead.
Last year, case in point, and this I get it's 1 year, but we can go to Kyler's whole career. I mean, we've all seen what he has done, or the lack of what he has done to provide viable fantasy assets. It's been what scared me off of taking Addison at a high share. Why I don't have Justin Jefferson even more than I do. I would take Jefferson 100% of the time over CeeDee Lamb personally, if I had more confidence in his quarterback, which I do not, which is why I will mix it up. Anyway. Oh, he feels the same way. I love it, buddy. Yeah, seriously, Kyler just scares the crap out of me. And is it? Can you take away? Is it because of his video game playing? Is he just an idiot? Does he not care? I don't think it's a talent because he's got talent. He's shown he's shown great skills, but it's like it. Cory, will you adjust the board for us real quick?
Oh,
but
I
year after
down,
year,
I've scrolled down all the way
for fantasy. Now it looks good. Now it looks good.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing is Kyler. If you go back and look at his career stats, he's never really been a touchdown thrower either.
No, he
rushes a lot. He's been good for fantasy because of the rushing floor, and then he runs for touchdowns. But yeah, I mean, it was how McBride went for. I mean, there was that one year. It's so crazy to think like there was the one year that we had to wait till like week 15 or 16 for him to score a touchdown.
Two years ago, yeah. Okay, coming to your pick, and then I want to recap real quick on what our guys have done, what Cory and DeHouse and Chad have done. Okay, talk through this one.
Okay, well, I know exactly who I'm taking here. Just going to make it official.
Tell us who and why.
We are going Fernando Mendoza.
And your reasoning?
The reasoning, I Bowers, Trey Tucker was there, so I like grabbing Fernando here. We've talked about how we think Fernando, yes, he will not start the season as a starter, so it is going to be a 3 QB build. I'm comfortable doing that, knowing that I'm going to have a 2 tight end build since I took Bowers. But with the reason why I didn't take Stroud earlier, I wanted to, is because him and Purdy, same bye week. And while I think Mendoza could be starting by then, it's not a guarantee. If it was like a week 13 double buys or something, I'd feel much more confident with that. But unfortunately, we are not there on that. So,
and what's your plan for QB3? Because you're going to have to make that decision either now or soon.
I say it could be Geno. I just have to then, Purdy's on his own in week 13. I'd really prefer. But Brissett Jacoby Brissett got paid. So
there we go.
Okay, or Tua. So I've got some options. And
are you doing it now or are you pushing it?
No, I'm pushing it. We're going to play a little chicken here, but we're going to go Zachariah Branch.
Okay.
And then maybe that makes me want Tua a little bit more, but we'll see if that happens. I always wonder when I see Jefferson there, pick 9, 12, even round 2, do I wave, take a chance? I've been drafting Jefferson. I prefer Jefferson over Lamb. I get it, Kyler. I know. But I do feel like it should be, I guess my thought process with him over Lamb is that I do think he is a better receiver than CeeDee Lamb, but I think they're both great. But Lamb has another target monster on the other side of him, whereas Jefferson, Addison's a solid receiver. Hawkinson, we'll see. And Juwan Jennings, I didn't love that he went to Minnesota, but I still think that the offense runs through Justin Jefferson. So that's kind of my thought process behind it. I've always been a sucker for Jefferson too. If he just had competent quarterback, I mean, when we've seen him when he has competent quarterback play, doesn't even have to be elite, but it's when Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins, he's the wide receiver 1-2, lock in every year.
I took 2 years ago, 2024. I took Justin Jefferson over a 20% clip, over 20% out of 500 drafts or 400 plus. I don't remember exactly my number. And that was whenever he was going picks 1 through 5. And that was with Sam Darnold. That's how much I love Justin Jefferson. With that said, my fear of Kyler Murray is so much, and of JJ McCarthy is so much, that I am like an 8% even with the field clip on Justin Jefferson. And yes, I will take him and I will mix him in. And yes, I will take him over CeeDee Lamb. But I will mix in other guys. I will take JT sometimes. I will take Lamb sometimes. I will take James Cook sometimes because of those quarterbacks. And before last year, we talked about this. I would have said the quarterbacks who cares who the quarterback is in Minnesota? It's quarterback proof.
Yeah.
But that was proven wrong. So we cannot
And the
stick to
system
that
was quarterback
mindset.
proof too.
We cannot stick to that mindset. McCarthy could be bad. Kyler could be bad, and that could crater these guys. But they still are worth taking because they are very talented and good. All right. We are coming back around to you here. You may have made the right choice. You know I love the Zachariah Branch. I might get him on my team that I'm about to do here in a minute as well. He's my number 1 drafted. I love my boy ZB. Now, a pick away. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the pick's on you?
Act a fool. I'm gonna go a receiver here.
Oh my gosh, you are living dangerously. What's the quarterbacks for guys at the 11-12? What do they have?
Bateman and Taekwon. Bateman, you know what? I'm going, since the single shot, we're going Taekwon.
Oh man, what's this guy have here at the 11?
The quarterbacks, the next guy has 2, the other one has 3. So that's why I went with a receiver there.
What's his 2? Stafford, I see. Who's his other one?
Hey, he just went Freiermuth. Yeah, and he already went Keon Coleman. So, I mean, if this guy wants to take a third one, he could take, honestly, and he might even make the decision for me. But this guy, if he takes a 5th quarterback, then okay, great. Thanks for your money.
Oh, you have 2 options, not 1?
Yes, I have Brissett or Tua.
Okay, then you're good. All right, good call. I was thinking Tua was your only option. I wasn't even thinking about Brissett.
I'm going to go Tua here, even though by 11
Tua
is
your
tough
boy.
for me.
Tua is your guy. Yeah, hey, you say buys aren't real, so you're living to that.
Yep. Yeah.
Buys matter to me. I try to diversify my buys, but I also say sometimes F them buys. But Corey says, buys are here to fool you.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, really, it is the 3 running backs, and then it's Branch and Tua, and that's it. So in week 11.
That's fine. The 3 running backs are really the only thing that could be a problem. But that's why you took the 3 more.
It's just 1 week with buys, 11.
It's just 1 week. Okay, so let's go and let's recap real quick. Our boy Chad, and Corey into hizzy. Let me do this real quick. Yeah, that way I can see. All right, so Chad. Well, first off, Corey, he just got. Let's see. Corey got, oh man, my boy Chris Bell. So he look at this. I love this. So backing up to where we left off after Corey took Coker, he grabbed Malik Willis as a 3rd QB, same buy as Goff. He grabbed Tajay Spears, Isaac Tesla, pair piece, Dylan Sampson. So he added 2 PPR running backs. My boy Jeremy Bernard, maybe took him from potentially Chad. No, Chad decided to go with someone else in that round because it went that way to Chad, didn't it? Let's see. Yeah, it would have gone that way to Chad. So Chad did not take Jeremy Bernard. And then Pat Bryant, that's one that we both have been very into, Corey and I. And then Chris Bell, someone who's been one of my favorite picks, but I haven't taken in forever because I was rocking 20% and I knew I had to get out of that game. I had way too many shares early.
Well, I don't know if you've seen the Rashee Rice video that everyone's freaking out on, but he was running a route and it looks like he's just, I mean, it almost looks like he just looks so slow.
I would never take Rice over Jefferson.
No, not in a million years. But yeah, the video of him, it just looks, it didn't do him much favors. But yeah. It's early. It's fine.
Yeah. And then where's Chad's team? I need to see Chad's team. Okay, I see it. All right, let's scroll back down and see where we left off.
Devon Bailey. He'll be proud. Bayou will be proud of that.
Scroll down, Core. We're looking up at the top of
that's as far as it goes. That's round 18.
There we go. Well, it's down there now. It was up at the top. Now it's down there. Okay. Yeah, so where did we leave off with his? We left off at Shuck, didn't we? So we left off at Shuck. And then he grabbed, Mark Andrews, Omar Cooper. Oh, yeah, you were just starting out at the bottom. I see now where you said Vele. Omar Super Duper Cooper. So we know he waited. Man, what's Chad's running backs? We're going to need to look at those. Juwan Jennings, A.D. Mitchell, Aaron Rodgers. You got the Pittsburgh stack piece. you took Keenan Allen instead of Jeremy Bernard. I don't blame you. I like spinning up on Keenan Allen in this, Chad. Devon Vele and Cyrus. He took Cyrus, didn't he? So in what we were just talking about.
Ooh, a little Cyrus Allen action.
So what's Chad's RB situation? Since he took none down here, what's his up at the top? They were all at the top.
All right. Yep, we're rocking. Oh, yeah, because he went with the 3 studs, CMC, Henry, and Kyron, and got him some Rico.
Got Rico. Okay, yeah, that's for a 4. Yeah, I'm good with that. Oh, Tyler Warren and Mark Andrews, both week 13s. Did he take a third? That's it, right? He didn't take a third?
Yep, so he's taking the 0 on week 13.
Yep, so Chad's saying F them buys as well. He's taking a 0 at tight end. I've mentioned, I think that could work. It does make me nervous, but I do think it's possible that could work.
Sure.
All right. Well, you want to do a review of your team, and then we'll get switched over. We'll do mine because I got about an hour before I got to hit the road.
Yeah. Started off, CeeDee Lamb. I kind of wish I would have gone running back there, but that's okay. I made up for it. But starting Lamb, Bowers, again, it's a single tournament. Bowers is just one of the more confident picks for me. As far as if you're trying to differentiate yourself, Bowers could be the guy to do that. And then again, going with your guys, Lad McConkey, then went 4 straight running backs, 3 straight with bye weeks. Some people are scared of that, but I'm not one of those people. But I with pushing it to round 4, I actually love my running back room with Jacobs, Judkins, Price, Chuba, Jordan Mason, and Keaton Mitchell. Love that. Great room. And then the receiver room being with Lamb, McConkey, Godwin, Diggs, Trey Tucker, Branch, and Thornton. That's a solid room. Not like all-star room or anything, but overall, I'm happy with it. We've got, let's say, with the Trey Tucker, Brock Bowers, stacked that with the number 1 overall pick, Fernando Mendoza. Brock Purdy didn't have any stack pieces in place. Just I needed a quarterback, and frankly, just took the dip. It was like a 10 ADP drop, so we went with him. And then at the very end, Tua to round out the QB room. And then next, I had to draft somebody with Bowers, so we went with Juwan Johnson.
There you go.
But overall, it's a solid team. I think it's like a B+ team. If I had to get is this my best shot at a 1 shot? Probably not. But overall, I do like it.
Yep. I think you did a solid team. I'm with you. It's not necessarily. I know. I mean, heck, we've seen plenty of teams of yours that we both have liked much more than this one. But it's an interesting team. It could get a ticket here. Are you necessarily better than Cory House and Chad? I think you guys all did really well. So I think it will come down to one of you 3 that's going to take this out. And I really like what you guys did top to bottom in this draft. One other thing,
draft,
who was Chad took Lamar, Shuck, and who?
Lamar, Shuck, and Rogers.
Rogers. That's right. Yeah, I knew there was a third. I forgot. Yeah, got that pair piece. Yeah, I love that quarterback room, Chad. And then honestly, I'm a big fan of Cory House's quarterback room as well. The Jordan Love, Malik Willis, and Goff quarterback room, really fun quarterback room there. A lot of ceiling and floor. Like Goff, honestly, when you can have Goff and his weekly stability, and then the randomness of Malik Willis and the wild spikes that we will get, it's Jordan Love is the perfect one right in the middle to balance them out, be there in week 6. So yeah, I think that was really good. He says, Cory House says Purdy naked at that value is worth it totally. Nice teams, y'all. Absolutely, I agree. And Chad, yeah, you're welcome, my friend. Last year, drafted Henderson and RJ Harvey in all my redraft leagues, and they helped me win a lot of games. Who do you like in the later rounds? And I love Josh Downs. Alex, not 100%. Cory.
Yeah. As far as I guess I'm wondering, as far as in the later rounds. So I did grab a couple of the guys that I like. So if we're talking double digit rounds, Jordan Mason is. I used to be able to get him more in this range, which I liked a lot more. But Jordan Mason's been one of my favorite clicks. I'm a big Keaton Mitchell guy. He is not the handcuff to a Marion Hampton. That would be Vidal. Keaton Mitchell, they brought him in for a specific role. Mike McDaniel specifically requested him, and he wants to utilize his speed. I think Keaton Mitchell has got a ton of upside there, standalone, so he doesn't need an injury or anything. Tyler Algier is actually probably my favorite. Tyler Algier he's my I think I have my highest running back exposure is Tyler Algier, because I'm in the minority of this isn't a knock against Jeremiah Love. I'm just not convinced that they're going to give him a massive workload this year. I mean, I think it's going to be, again, Tyler, I get they spent a third overall pick on him, but how many times did we yell at the TV the last couple of years with Bijan Robinson, especially remember his rookie year? Now, granted, it was Arthur Smith, but still, Bijan, they used the 8th pick, and he was a generational talent, and he was splitting carries with Algier. So I think Algier's a good running back. They paid him real money, and they're going to use him. So Tyler Algier, that's probably my answer. And I was on Kamara before he signed, or before he restructured to stay, but that's another one of my favorites. But Tyler Algier is my favorite personally.
Now you're talking specifically about best ball with this take, what you just gave though, right? If you're talking redraft where you have to set your
did he
lineup,
say redraft? Oh, okay.
Well, because he talked about it in his redraft. So I just didn't know.
Okay.
I knew that what you were saying was specific to what we're drafting here on Underdog. So I just wanted to clarify that because I also incredibly high on Algier, but I don't know that I wouldn't necessarily say that I think
not in redraft, no. But
for redraft.
But again, Keaton Mitchell, same point stands that I do think you can. Keaton Mitchell, he'd be a flex play most weeks, but Charbonnet's not terrible if you believe that he's going to come back and be. But Jordan Mason still point stands. Even a J.K. Dobbins, you just have to bake in that volatility there. But yeah, I just don't know redraft rankings really right now. I haven't looked that much at redraft yet. So
yeah, our brains are very different. Best ball. Very, very best ball. Joe Chris, what's up, buddy? Glad to see you.
What's going on?
Joe was doing a lot of baseball drafts with me back in the winter, Corey. So glad to see you in here. Joe, we're coming to the end of baseball, my friend. Tomorrow, last day of baseball regular season, and then we find out what tickets we get.
I had 2 tickets to start the week. I lost one of them. It's probably not happening. If it would have ended last week, I had 2, but now I'm at 1. But
I'm not even looking. I got too many balls.
It's very different for me than you. It's very different from you than me. Top Gun, what's going on?
Top Gun, he's here too. He was a baseball guy with us as well. Glad to see you guys jumping in here with us with some football talk. So, Corey, will you? Oh, you did already. I was about to say.
I already stopped sharing. Yep.
All right.
Yep. I already did, brother.
You are on it, my friend. On it. Okay, so guys, anyone that would want to draft a Corgi with me, if you have any entries and you're here, I'm going to go ahead and do a countdown because, again, we don't know how long we're going to have to wait. So if you want, pull up the Corgi, and I'm going to do a countdown.
Appreciate you, brother.
Hey, I love it. Yeah, appreciate you, Vegeta.
Thank you.
And we are counting down 9. Corey, you do the countdown.
Yeah, come on, man. Don't get on my corner. 9, 8, 7. Spencer, are you there? You're frozen on my end.
I'm here. Oh, I'm frozen?
Okay. Yeah, you were frozen. We're going to start again. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter.
All right. 9 more to start, boys. 9 more to start. Okay. So we're going to hang out and wait and talk for a minute. 8 more, 7 more. All right. We're at 7 more, 6 more. I'll update you as we go. Meanwhile, I'll get this pulled up. Joe, I did a couple handfuls of best balls. So he's dipped his toes into the football best balls this year. Oh, Corey, trade alert.
Trade just went through. Yep. Luis Castillo.
Interesting. The White Sox.
Did
you hear
a salary dump?
Joe's in.
Yeah, White
Nice,
Sox
buddy.
trade. Yep. White Sox trade Sir Anthony Dominguez. Oh, actually, what's his face? Is Grant Taylor going to be I guess would he be the
Grant
closer?
Taylor's already been closing games.
Has he already been
closing games? Yeah. So yeah, Sir Anthony has been a big disappointment.
At all.
Luis Castillo sucks too, but that's going to help the White Sox get a solid starter in there as they try to make a push. They send Nolan Jones. I didn't even know Nolan Jones was on. I had no idea.
No.
I think I'm in as well. Sweet. Nice. Both Top Gun and Joe jumping in this one with me. Love it, boys. Lane Thomas got traded too. I didn't see the Lane. Where'd Lane go? Lane's been on fire for the Royals. Where did old Laney go? Oh, bro. Shane Smith. Ugh, what a terrible pick he was this year. Hey, what's up, Cleves? Cleves, if you want in the Corgi, one more spot. If you have a Corgi you want, we're at one more spot. Oh, yeah, for the playoffs. Fingers crossed. Draft starts soon. All right, boys. Draft starts soon. I was talking. Top Gun got pick number 1. I see that right out the gates. Let me get this board pulled up here. I got pick 4. I see that on my phone before I even get the shared here.
Yeah.
All right.
One of my matchups that I desperately need to win. I'm gonna have to, I think, use my last pickup tomorrow on. I got maybe some speed. I need somebody to steal some bases.
Oh man. Well, who's out there? I can try to. I can see if I can.
Estuary Ruiz is out there.
Leadoff contact today. Oh, Estuary isn't terrible. He's been all right.
Yeah.
Joe got pick 11.
Dave Hamilton, Luis Angel, Acuna. I could just have the Acuna brothers. Jacob Young, has he even been playing?
Jacob Young, yeah.
All right, wait. I'll take the one offline.
Okay, Cleve's got pick 5, and FK Coolers is in this. FK Coolers, if you're in the comments with us, what's up, buddy? He's in this at pick 10. I am up at 4. You know what I'm doing. Young Mula would be proud. Puka Nakua in the house. All right.
Puka, there you go.
Puka, baby. I mean, I could have easily gone CMC, my boy, but I left him for Cleves, and look, Cleves went ahead and did it. Me and Cleves picking back-to-back next to each other. He's here. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, Coolers?
Glad to have you in here. Other than, of course, I had to get Cleves and Coolers. You guys jumping in this one with me. Hey, I love it, though. I'm glad we're doing our single entries together. Let's go. Let's see who's the better drafter.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go. Closest matchup is a stream we did, trying to beat the icon, which is Jeremy with the San Diego stack for second. Good luck, Joe. Good luck, buddy. I cannot wait to see the results of the stream drafts. So one thing I'm going to do, and I'll talk about this, I'm going to do a baseball recap sometime this week, and I'm going to go through and look at all of the stream drafts we did and see who out of all of them, who of us got the tickets. Because I hope it would be incredible. I hope that every single stream draft that we do, it is us in the draft that are getting tickets.
I have 1%. Spencer has 2.
Yep, we are.
We were not Pearsall guys.
Pearsall,
yeah,
and all aboard the other 49ers, my friend. So that's great news for us.
Yep, I was 1 Pearsall, 8% Debo. So
yep.
I don't want to say I knew it, but
we knew it.
Oh, we knew it.
I
mean, honestly, it was clear as day that he was going to miss the entire season.
Clear as day.
Then, well, obviously, like I said it every time too. Like whenever someone I'd say, yeah, I mean, it's not bad for a guy who's going to miss the whole season.
No Bowers for me, by the way. So So Bowers did not go to Coolers. I thought he did for a second. He went right after Coolers. Oh, perfect. I don't care. You know what, Corey? F them buys. AJ Brown, Puka Nakua, AJ Brown.
Oh yeah,
Come on down.
targets
Double
galore.
11s. Let's go.
Targets galore.
Touchdowns, targets, great quarterback system. Well, what's not to love? What not to love? Chad said a minute ago, hey, Spencer, how much value does Scooble have? A ton, a crap ton. I mean, Scooble, now here's the thing. What is he going to value in real life, in the real life trade market? I don't know as far as like actual pieces versus prospects. I have no clue. I haven't really heard a lot. I don't pay attention to rumors, but Scooble is worth, I mean, galore. I mean, so many teams give up massive packages for guys that they're going to have just as rental players because everyone knows Scooble will be a free agent. That's why they're trading him. Do you guys avoid McCaffrey and redraft if he's there? Thoughts? I won every league I drafted him in last year. It stumps me when I see him there in every draft. Well, I don't do a ton of redraft unless it's dynasty. Real quick, it's my pick. Rashee Rice, Devonta Smith, Trey McBride. Rashee is a pretty solid pick here, but in a single entry where I want to make a difference, I'm going to do what you did, Corey. I'm going to push running back. I'm going to go Trey McBride, get a top tight end off the board. I'm not going to be. I could still go Warren if I want to go double, but I probably won't. Hey Zach, what's up, buddy?
I'll real quick. I'm going to jump in on this one.
I
haven't got super into redraft rankings, but from what I've seen, he's going mid first round, maybe the mid late first round. The argument again, I mean, obviously, like everyone's going to bring up the injury stuff, which is 100% legit. The reason I've been off of him is because historically speaking, no running back that has had more than 400 plus touches, and this is NFL history. There's never been a running back that has had 400 plus touches in a season and repeated that same touch or that same usage the next season. It has literally never happened. The most recent example, Saquon Barkley last year, 2 years ago with the playoff run and everything, he had more than 400 touches. That was the reason I was off of him last year. And Saquon ended up having a fine year. I mean, he was like RB 13 or something like that. He was a back end RB1, high end RB2, but he was being drafted as a top 10 pick. And that was the data that I used to stay off of him. And that's what I've been using as McCaffrey. Obviously, if McCaffrey gives you 16 games, he's the RB1. He's the number one player in fantasy. Derrick Henry. Let's see.
Yes, real quick, couple things. I think Neighbors is healthy, and I'm all aboard drafting him, especially why you can get him in round 3 still.
Henry's never surpassed 400 touches ever because he doesn't get receptions. Yeah, he's so like touches, his career high. He had 300. Yeah, his career high in carries was 349, or excuse me, 378 back in 2020, and then in 2022, 349. That was the closest that he's come to the 400 threshold, but that's the difference. Is it's all carries. And I'm talking total touches, not carries. So McCaffrey caught 100 balls and also had 1,000 rushing yards too. So that's what I'm talking about is total touches.
Yep. And Chad, for me, round 2, I'm pretty much off of Kenny Skywalker. I love him. I just don't like that high of a price. And later on, Travis Etienne is another one that I don't love the price. Those are 2 of the better running backs that I take almost none of. And then Jadarian Price would be another big fade for me. Are you guys doing another draft? No, not unless you can talk Corey to stick on.
No, I'd say I'm probably off too. Had a long day, but yeah, I that cluster of running backs, I'm actually fine with. Jeremiah Love, I love the talent. I just am just not there that he's gonna. I could see him returning that ADP, but I just don't. And maybe it's a back half of year kind of thing because typically guys that are running backs historically, at least the last decade, that are taken top 10 have returned great value in their first year. I just think it's such a crowded back. I'm in the minority here too, but the crowded backfield with there being a competent RB behind Algier. Now, I think James Conner is going to end up getting traded, but with him having competent RBs and even the coach coming out and saying that he's like, well, yeah, he was like, well, I'm excited to get Connor out there. I'm excited for this. Now, Jeremiah, he's a rookie. And that's the treatment that I'm worried he's going to get is, well, he's a rookie. He's got to earn it. Maybe we trust Tyler Algier more pass pro and all this other stuff. So that's my concern with Jeremiah. It has nothing to do with the talent. It's kind of like last year we had to sit and watch Ramondre take all that work. And with Henderson just clearly being the more explosive back, but it was Ramondre. That's because that's who they trusted.
Connor's not being drafted, or he goes into the last round, but mostly not drafted.
Me, but I don't know if he meant where's he gonna end up being traded. I think we're just waiting for the first running back injury. It's gonna happen anytime. So, but I really believe that or if there's a thin running back room out there somewhere, which I'm sure there is. If I had to guess, the trade, it's going to be wherever the first running back injury happens.
Yeah, wherever he needs to go. That's probably what they're holding out for, is just to wait till a team gets desperate and then they need them.
And it'll happen. It happens every year.
Happens every year. Absolutely.
And it could even be a situation too where they're like, maybe he's even a cup candidate and they take do a day 3 pick swap just to get him off the roster. That happens all the time too.
Yep. And Ryan,
if you remember, they restructured him to keep him way before they were going to, they were going to draft Jeremiah Love. So they hedged their bets a little bit.
Yep. Ryan, the reason why we're only going to do these 2 drafts tonight and not keep drafting is because your boy here, I'm going to see Spider-Man in an hour and 10 minutes from now. So, and I got to drive 30 minutes to get there. So after this, I am heading straight to the theater. I can be a little late because there's always 20 to 30 minutes of previews that I could care less about seeing. So,
I gotta say, I don't know if it'll be the exact same ones, but it was disappointing. The only trailer that I cared any at all about, you won't, because it's Dune. So
you're right, and the thing is, I just haven't seen that. I think I would like Dune. I just have never watched it.
You would love it, actually. I know you would, but
yeah, it seems to be right up my alley. But
that's unless the trailers are different. That was the only trailer that mattered to me. I was pretty disappointed, honestly. I was hoping that we get something a little better than that. But
trailers in theaters aren't a thing anymore. We see them on our phones on YouTube as soon as they happen, so it doesn't matter. It's not like it used to, where it was like, oh my gosh, you're seeing a trailer at the theater and it's the first time you've ever even heard of this movie. That used to be incredible. Whenever, I had never even heard of a movie, and then all of a sudden I see a trailer and I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I miss those days. Okay. Zach says, I'm in on Love ADP 27. Bijan and JT ran around the end of the first and didn't quite hit that ADP, but Love at 27, I'm good.
I do agree there. I
have said this whole time, I love
fairly priced
mid-round 3, or if he can somehow fall to the 4th, that is great. But spending the end of round 2 to start of round 3, I've never really felt comfortable doing that this entire summer.
Yeah, I've said all along, I do think his price is fair. I think his ADP is very fair. If he was going mid to early round 2, I'd probably rarely click him. But I think he can return that back end RB1 or maybe high end RB2 potentially if he gets hot at the end of the year. I guess I'm just not there, or there's other names around that area that I like to click more. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna go see where I'm at with on my Love shares.
Okay.
7.73. That's not bad. That's not terrible.
Not bad. Yep.
It's definitely not Tyler Algier though.
All right. I'm doing something crazy here. Okay.
All right.
All right. Now, I want to take a minute here. Go ahead.
Another one, I think. I thought I saw one, but oh yeah. Thoughts on neighbors being healthy. I'm I'd say I'm a neighbors guy. Everyone's a neighbors guy, and I've been taking him in round 3 as much as I can because it's not going to last much longer. I've even seen him go late too, so I'm trying to grab those shares and get those shares up in the event that he plays the full season. And even if he, he has a bit of a ramp up with his ceiling, it's huge. That's how I feel about it. I think it was someone mentioned, but that Liam was off of him, or just saying that like if you're taking round 2 neighbors, you're taking him at his ceiling essentially, which he could be.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think you are. His ceiling is the best wide receiver in football. That's his ceiling. That's his true ceiling. Yep. Okay. So,
all right. We got neighbors up to over 12%. Yes.
I want to go through and talk about our guys' teams. We haven't even touched on that. But
yeah,
before I go through,
I
was going to say before I go through, I want to talk on this just a second here. Cool Smurfer says Parker ? Assuming he means what do you think about Parker Washington? Cory's off of him. I love him. I've been drafting him all summer. I dipped a little because Cory and Zero kind of had tried to talk me off the Parker Washington ledge of going full 20% all in. But I'm a rocking a cool 13-14% through 500 something drafts.
There actually is, Ryan, the Chiefs' second first round pick this year, Peter Woods out of Clemson, defensive tackle.
Peter Woods, there you go.
Peter Woods, yep.
BTJ is better. Yeah, Chad's a BTJ guy. Chad doesn't like Parker either. Chad is a BTJ guy. I'm not a BTJ guy. I'm not a Marvin Harrison guy. I don't draft those dudes. Cory does. Zero does. Chad does. Although Cory doesn't have a high mark, I don't think. You don't draft. You're not like all in on Harrison or
Marv,
BTJ, but you draft him a good amount.
Just under 10%, and BTJ, I am at 11%.
Yeah, so and for me, they're like 2-3% guys.
Oh, yep, Peter Skronsky, that's another one.
Peter Skronsky. BTJ is the only player I'll tilt on if I miss on him. Good luck, buddy. Good luck. All right. Man, I really want to push QB with you fools, but I'm going to go ahead and grab my first one here because I don't want to miss on Purdy.
Ricky Bijan, Arthur Smith is the worst, and he ruined everything that year. Remember the one game that Bijan was, they just didn't play him. And then did they say it was something silly, like a toothache or something like that? Like he wasn't out. He just wasn't playing in the game. And it's the ultimate scream at my TV. Like I was so mad. I was like just cursing Arthur Smith. And oh man. And ever since Arthur Smith left, it's been great. But yeah, him and then Gentry, it was almost mirror images of each other. That Gentry's rookie season was fine. He just didn't return where he was being taken as first round pick.
Yes, sir. I remember last year I swore BTJ would smash and Tank Bigsby would start. I was wrong. ETN falling to 45 seems a little too far. I had 1% beginning some now. Great point, Cool Smurfer. Amazing point. I have been off Travis Etienne this whole summer, but a huge part of that has been his draft spot, where he goes. And I cannot believe I'm about to do this over Godwin, but I am Kenny Gainwell over Godwin because I want the running back. It is what it is there. So, okay, now we're caught up. I want to talk about guys' teams here. So first off, Top Gun at pick 1. Top Gun is rocking a 2-3-3-1 start. His 2 QBs being Drake May and Jackson Dart. Really great 2 QBs. Malik Neighbors, Devontae Adams, and Jamison Williams. With his running backs, Gibbs, Love, Stevenson, and then tight end, Fannin, baby, Fannin. Really like the start to your team, Top Gun. I'm in on everyone you draft with the exception of Jamison Williams, and I get why you get him. I get why people like him. I just end up not taking him very often there myself. Cleves is rocking a 1-4-3-1. That's Dak Prescott as his 1. Do you have him stacked? Doesn't look like it. He's an unstacked Dak. With CMC, Judkins, Jalen Warren, and Dowdle. I love your running back room. Pickens, nope, he is stacked. Pickens, Zay Flowers, and Pittman. I missed the Pickens a second ago. And then Colston Loveland, who you got as a nice tight end piece. I'm glad that I got McBride and didn't wait on Loveland since you snatched him a pick before me in round 4. Then we've got FK Coolers at pick 10, who's going with a 1-4-4-1, and he just picked Jordan Mason. His 1 quarterback is Herbert, who pairs with Ladd McConkey. Justin Jefferson, Amarian Hampton, Garrett Wilson, Ladd McConkey, Tyler Warren, Jadarian Price, Justin Herbert. Am I reading a Corey team or what? Because Corey, this is like FK Coolers is doing exactly like a team you would build here, almost to a T. RJ Harvey,
because he's a ball knower.
Jacoby Myers, and Jordan Mason. So really like the start to your team. Joe rocking with James Cook, Kenny Skywalker, Kyron Williams, Josh Allen, DJ Moore to pair, Micah Wilson. You reached up on Micah Wilson. You believe in him. Jonathan Brooks, you reached up. You believe in him. Joe is with me with Alec Pierce, but he got him at pick 86, which is a pretty good fall. 107 for Kincaid, and then he is a cokehead, moved up Jalen Coker. Back to me.
There you go,
Let me go ahead and get
you might want to scroll down a little bit. Can't see.
I know. Hold on. It's my pick. 1 second. All right. I got it in there. All right. Matthew Stafford.
I'm going to bring this up just real fast. Real quick while I have this up, that we were talking about Bijan, Genti in the rookie years. And I said I think they're almost mirror images. Holy crap. Bijan had 976 rushing yards his rookie year. Genti, 975. 1 yard difference. Genti with 55 catches, 5 touchdowns. Bijan had 58 catches for 4 touchdowns. Isn't that wild?
That's wild.
They literally had the exact same rookie year. Crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
And things have gone well ever since. So,
yeah, they have. Rome, doomsday. I like that. That's a good one. Quentin Johnson's I see making one-handed catches. Lots of hypes on him. He's doing better than McConkey. They're saying I almost picked QJ with my pick instead of Sutton. I went with Sutton. Maybe I should have gone QJ here and that. Okay, back to me. Aaron Jones. I was gonna go Kelsey. He went to Top Gun. Aaron Jones, come on down. All right. Not a JMO guy, but getting some shares. I will mix some shares in. I'm not like a 0, but I'm like a 2 or 3% JMO guy. Ultimately, I just think his price is too high. I was all aboard the Jamison Williams train in these last 2 years with his price being lower, but I feel like it's just too high.
I feel like his price was about the same last year, wasn't it?
No,
maybe a round difference or so.
I'll say this: 2 years ago is whenever I was super big on him. In 24, whenever I was getting him, I believe in my mind it was double-digit rounds. I know it was a good value. It could have moved up to like the 7-8 range that year, I think, but I feel like it was really good 2 years ago. Okay.
I'm actually going to go look at my QJ real quick, see what we're up to, because we are at 14.7.
Okay.
On QJ, I'm at 18.3 on Ladd. I've got a ton of Chargers this year. Ton.
And I just want to review my team real quick. I'm rocking a 2-4-4-1. Puka, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton. I made my Cortland Sutton page earlier. Corey, this is what I was about to say earlier. I took him over DK or Quentin Johnson. When I made my Cortland Sutton page, it just put it in my mind of like how actually good Cortland Sutton has been these last few years. And I don't think about him enough. And it really was like, I need to have him on my mind more. And I did that here in this draft. Purdy, Stafford, pair with my Mike Evans and Puka. I like that. With Trey McBride, I plan on only taking one more. I'm going to go with a 6 running back build because I have 4. I don't love it. I waited till 5, but I like my 4. I just don't love it. I got a lot of old guys: Montgomery, Pollard, Kenny G, and Aaron Jones.
The JMO thing is interesting for you to say because being off of him, and then your argument for Alec Pierce. I understand the.
I say they're about the
ADPs.
same player, and it's a huge ADP difference. And I don't love Alec Pierce ADP
And
either.
I couldn't disagree more that they're about the same player. Jamison Williams is a lot better.
But from a result standpoint in best ball, Alec Pierce has been better.
I cannot wait until he fails. Cannot wait. He's not good. You're spending an 8th round capital for 4 spike weeks. Hopefully they line up. Stupid.
Telling you, you're discounting Alec Pierce.
I will forever.
Okay.
He was one of my favorite round 15 picks. I loved it all those years of taking. And now, top 100 pick on him? Get out of here.
Yeah, well, again, I don't love. I want him to fall into the 90s. This is my whole point. I want him to be closer to 100 or in the 90s. This whole time, I've not taken him because I do think his ADP is too high. But still, nonetheless, I'm just saying he deserves respect as far as a good basketball player.
As far as but that the JMO was the same ADP last year, and I do think JMO is probably more talented. Okay, I'm not saying JMO isn't more talented, but from a results standpoint, because of Amon-Ra, Laporta, and Gibbs, and who's there in Detroit, and from a what's there with. You've got Tyler Warren and JT, but you don't have an Amon-Ra. You know what I'm saying? So this is why the last 2 years have played it out. All right, we're coming back around to me here. I got to decide if I want to grab another running back here. I could with Woody Marks if I want to have the handcuff to Monty, but I don't want to have the handcuff. And I am going to go, and I think, oh my gosh, no, I'm not. Oh boy. Ooh, that was close. I almost just got autoed there. I got a star in at the last second. I would have been autoed Pearsall. That would have been terrible. Yeah.
I went to go find Debo. I was going to take Debo. He's gone. Where did Debo go?
Is the only way. I guess the only way to It's I guess
Algier's gone too. Corey, dang it. Joe took him. Joe, you took Debo and Algier. Son of a.
But I guess if you make your own ranks, I guess, and then put Pearsall way down at the bottom just to get him off the screen.
You could also
that's the only thing I could think. But yeah.
You could also click projections instead of ADP, and that'll get him off the screen. But
yeah.
Actually, if you click projections, would it still take him to you if you just got autoed? It might actually give you whatever you would. I think you have to do what you said and input your own rankings in order to make sure. But here before too long, Ricky Pearsall, in the next day or two, he'll be completely
right. That's what I'm just kind of waiting for. But yeah, it's a horrifying concept.
I absolutely love Stribling. Stribling, I've been on since right after he got drafted. I never even heard of him until the draft. And Corey and I were doing videos back around the NFL draft. And when we did, and I talked about him, I was like, I've never even heard of him. All of our pre-draft stuff, I'm like, I never even saw his name. And then I watched Stribling videos, and I became a Stribling boy back in April or May. Was it May? And I've been taking Stribling this whole time.
Yeah.
I've loved his
loved Hammy today popped up on the injury report.
That's not great, though.
It's anybody
that
San Francisco 49er is hurt at this point. They're just really those guys, man. It's brutal. Power plant.
Power plant is a real thing. That is, it's problems.
It's power plant.
Joe spent up on Emmett Johnson, going ahead and grabbing him. He believes in some Emmett.
Well, I'm not bringing up the debate again. It's just because when we were talking about it, JMO had such a better year than Alec Pierce, and it's not even close. So, just that's a silly conversation to have. Anyway,
Corey, I told you the weeks from a best ball spike week perspective. That's what I'm talking about. Pierce has had more than JMO the last 2 years.
I was going to say, not last year. There's no way.
Yes, last year. Yes, he had more spike weeks.
No, he didn't.
All right, I'll pull it back up again.
I'm looking at it right here. Unless your definition of a spike week is different than mine.
I'm talking about over 19 points, 19, 20 points or more. JMO didn't have any.
None.
I'm going back.
When he had 6 catches, 119 and a touchdown. That's
it must have been 2 years ago. He had 3 last year. Okay, he had 3. So he had 3 last year, a 20, a 23, and a 22.9. Alec Pierce last year had just 1, 22.6. 2 years ago, Alec Pierce had 3, and Jameson had 4. Okay, I was wrong. It must have been another person we were looking at. JMO does have more. He has 4 and 3, 7 to Pierce's.
I'm out here defending the
5.
good name of JMO.
Okay,
JMO guy from day one.
I was obviously misremembering someone else that we had looked at, but still, it's close. Okay, I took Kamara. I'm gonna get out Dylan Sampson. Corey, give it to me.
What? I want to talk to Samson.
There it is. Every stribbling boy eventually drafts more and becomes a stribbling man. That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
All about the stribbers over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever like that, as soon as I saw that pop across about his hamstring, I was like, dang, I'm not a 49ers fan, but god dang. It's every year. Every freaking year. I actually thought Shanahan should have, I mean, if not win, then be second in coach of the year last year with getting that team to the playoffs just with a bunch of spit twigs and Christian McCaffrey. I mean, starting 2 different quarterbacks and just all the guys in and out of the lineup and all that. I thought he did a great job.
I want to bring something up real quick. Joe, my friend, I don't know how much you have done. I just want to give you my quick opinion on the drafts you're going to do the rest of the time. Because you mentioned this handcuff when talking about Emmett Johnson. Who'd you just take? Kalen Black? Yeah. Okay. Here's the one thing I will tell you as far as my opinion on Underdog. Specifically, this is not a regular league redraft opinion. It's a completely different story. I do not like to take a handcuff like Emmett Johnson with Kenneth Walker on the same team. I'll take a Kenneth Walker team. I'll take an Emmett Johnson team and add Emmett Johnson on a team. But I don't like to take them together because for one or the other to hit their ceiling, it requires one or the other to fail. Either way, you've got a wasted spot. We're already going to have injuries, underproduction, things out of our control. You're going to have wasted roster spots. Why put yourself in a position where you know you're going to have a wasted roster spot? You want, this is again, just my thought process, how I look at this. You want to give yourself the best odds to where every single roster spot can hit its ceiling. And I don't think Emmett Johnson and Ken Walker can truly hit each. Ken Walker could hit his ceiling with Emmett Johnson stay healthy, but Emmett Johnson cannot hit his ceiling with Kenneth Walker staying healthy. So, like, you took Kalen Black. You don't have McCaffrey. That I'm fully good with. I'm fully in on drafting Kalen Black without McCaffrey. I would not take him with McCaffrey. Just my thoughts, what I would recommend on teams as you move forward.
If it's a DraftKings and you have 20, like the extra couple roster spots, I could be sold on that. Yeah. I could be sold on that, but I'm with Spencer in that. Yeah, it's just if you have McCaffrey and if you're going to do 6 running backs and take Kalen Black or whoever you anticipate is going to be the RB2, I could get on board with that only because we've seen when McCaffrey goes down, whoever does step into that role has produced. So that's about the only angle I could see. But yeah, I think other than that, it's not worth taking a handcuff.
Yeah.
Redraft is different though. Redraft, I'm
completely different. Yeah, completely different. Yeah. And I just had to throw this in there because earlier, whenever I took Samson, Top Gun, I just noticed he threw in Samsonite. I was way off.
I knew it started with an S, though.
Knew it started with an S, though. Oh, that's great. Okay. So, speaking of, Top Gun just grabbed him some Gunner. Do you have Cam Ward? Nope. Your quarterback's Drake May, Jackson Dart. You grab Gunner as a third tight end to Fannin and Kelsey, and then got some Kayshon Boutte.
Booty, rocking everywhere.
Rocking everywhere. Pair up for now with Drake May. And then I'm going to grab one of my favorite picks in Don Tavian Wicks. I like him more than Mooney, Ridley, Pat Bryant, and I could be wrong. I base that on absolutely nothing.
I wish I need I'd like to get I need to get some. I was looking at my New England shares. I have a lot of Travion.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just looking at like my I need to get like some when we said booty, and I was like, oh, how much booty do I have? But I was like, I need to get AJ Brown exposure up more. It's almost double digits, and I'd like to get that up more. Anyway,
you got to focus on it because you have to mentally make yourself, because there's so many good round 2 picks. So
yep,
I get it. You got to think like, who do I have that I'm not stacking AJ Brown with, that you get in round 1, and then try to stack AJ Brown with that person.
Yep.
Goal is to try to not take zeros. Yes, this is it. And this is exactly my point, Joe, is that, if you give yourself a roster spot that might be a 0, hey, we all could take guys that might be zeros for sure. But you don't want to kind of like guarantee yourself or like put yourself in a position where, again, it's like, I'm looking at ceiling case for Emmett Johnson to be a difference maker. I think Ken Walker has to go down. And if Ken Walker goes down, who was your round 2 pick, you're probably done.
I'd rather having that extra spot that you're able to use, I would rather use that on someone that has a chance of factoring at any point, because like Spencer said, the only way that he's going to score points is, if it's Kalen Black and you have McCaffrey, then the only way that that's ever going to happen is if McCaffrey goes down. And if McCaffrey goes down, that team's probably screwed anyway. So I'd rather just take a shot on another guy. But I also am not in love with a lot of options there. Actually, Kalen Black unstacked is looking like a pretty solid option in round 18.
Yeah, we were just saying earlier when we started this, Kalen Black is moving up with the Jordan James injury. I like that. Black. Screw up the spelling on that, but glad you picked it up. Oh, I got it, Top Gun. It's really early. Joe, we have been drafting football teams and thinking about this since the day baseball started. So talk about early. We've been in on it early, my friend. Yeah. Our brains are just so warped to this. Okay.
Speaking of redraft, there's a theory out there that best ball makes you worse at redraft, and I'm going to put that to the test this year. We'll see how that turns out.
It's true when you're getting into best ball for the first time. Absolutely true. So, but it's not true once you're once you're used to it and you can think of things differently.
The last year was the first year that I always dabbled in it. Last year was the first year that I like really focused on it, but I'm not worried about that at all.
And take note. I'm picking sleepers. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that was awesome. Loved that. Had a lot of fun with that draft. Was not my favorite team, but I liked the team just fine. We're going to go through them, and I want to review everyone's teams that is here. And then I've got to hit the road within the next 15 minutes to get over to Spider-Man. That's why I'm not sticking around tonight. I took the comments off the stage so that I can share this and we can go through everyone's teams. We're going to start at the top of the draft. Can I see? Yes, I can. Okay. I can't see the comments while we're going through rosters. So we're going to start with Top Gun.
I'll let you know if anything comes through that we want to talk through.
Thank you. All right. Top Gun from pick 1 went with the classic 3-5-7-3 build. His quarterbacks being Drake May, Jackson Dart, and he did grab a third with Shadur Sanders. Chad, if you're out there, I know you're proud. Running backs, Jahmyr Gibbs. Once you take Gibbs, anything else is in play. You went with Jeremiah Love at the turn and the 2-3, then waited for Ramondre, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Bill, and Jonah Coleman. So, Coleman, great pick. If Dobbins or when Dobbins goes down, without, it could be wasted. Bill, I think Bill's a good, solid pick. I'm into Rashad. I'm into Bill. Don't take a ton of Bill, but I'm into that, especially at the 120 price, which is close to his ADP. Ramondre I like, so it's a good running back room. Wide receivers, Malik Neighbors at the top, especially in a single entry. You getting him at the turn, I'm all aboard. If you would have let him fall to me, I would have taken him and started my team. Puka, A.J. Brown, and Neighbors, I would have done that in a heartbeat. Devontae Adams as your 2, Jameson Williams, the much-discussed Jameson Williams. The respect is put back on his name. He does have more pop week power than Alec Pierce. So the extra 40 picks of ADP is definitely justified. Jalen McMillan, Jalen Naylor, all Jalen's all the time. Naylor, hardly newer. Isaac Tisla, Keyshawn Butte, pretty good wide receiver room. Not the best wide receiver room, but a pretty good wide receiver room. I think that if Neighbors and Devontae smash, then you'll be fine. Because I think the rest of the guys are fine. It's just I struggle with 4 through 7 on what's the upside with these guys. And I think this, as people, I draft all of these people, and I'm constantly like asking myself, how much upside does Jalen McMillan and Jalen Naylor have? Is it 10 points? Because 10 points isn't going to do a lot for me. Fannin, absolutely love. Kelsey, absolutely love. And Gunnar Helm, which is a good, solid third. So overall, top to bottom, you've got a really nice team. I like what you did for sure, my friend. Okay. Top Gun, thanks for drafting with me. That was super fun. We'll go through my team now. I was at pick 4, 2, 6, 8, 2. My 2 quarterbacks being Purdy and Stafford, which paired with Mike Evans and Puka Nacua. I waited at running back till pick 52. That makes me nervous. I got an old running back room. I got even older when I took Kamara. The only guy who's even somewhat young is Sampson. So Montgomery, Pollard, Kenny Gainwell, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, Dylan Sampson. I would like my running back room a lot more in PPR. I don't like it as much here in half-point PPR. I still think it could be fine because the rest of my build, I think, is pretty strong, but I don't love my running back room. Puka, A.J. Brown, Mike Evans. I love the start to my wide receivers. Then Cortland Sutton, we'll see. I reached up a little on him. Maybe I should have taken QJ. I don't know. Denzel Boston, Antonio Williams, Dontavian Wicks, and Keon Coleman. So I waited till the end, added in a few other guys with Antonio, Dontavian, and Keon, who could be big hit or misses. Boston is the one that I'm counting on the most. And tight ends, McBride, Okonkwo. When I have someone at the ilk of McBride or Bowers, I almost always will just take 2, especially if I really like the 2, and I do like Chig quite a bit. So,
hey, Spence, I wanted to bring up real quick. I just clicked over, and on the Little Dalmatian tournament, the dollar one, 2 separate drafts. Guys started with Puka, Bowers, Neighbors. 2 drafts.
I would love that.
That's
incredible. I love that.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's like almost ideal start number 1. So yeah. Love it.
Anyway.
Well, maybe my ideal start is McCaffrey, Bowers, and Neighbors. That way I've got 1 at each position, but that's just me. I still think with Puka as the guy there, that's nails. That's it. Whenever I did my that $60 single entry list last week, I talked about it. I tried to get the start of McCaffrey, Bowers. I completed that. Neighbors went the pick before me in the 3rd. All right, so we are now to Cleves with the 3-4-8-3.
I actually do have a McCaffrey Neighbors Bowers start too.
Perfect.
So anyway,
Perfect.
well, hey, actually, real quick, I'm gonna jump off. I gotta call it a night, but Spence, you can take us home.
All right.
And everybody, thanks for joining. It was a pleasure. And we'll see you on Tuesday. Enjoy
Absolutely.
Spider-Man, Spence.
I will. Thanks, buddy.
See you guys later.
Later. All right. So just as a reminder, I'm not going to be seeing the comments, but I'll go back and check them out before I jump off here with you guys. So we're on Cleve's team. He's pick 5. Cleves went with a 3-4-8-3. Let's see what you did with your 4 running backs. I'm pretty critical on 4 running backs and myself on if I think it's worth it. Your quarterbacks, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, and Jacoby. You pushed quarterback. You got Dak. I like Rodgers. I think Jacoby is but let's see what you did by pushing QB. And with these 4, man, I'm really intrigued to find out what you do here at wide receiver. So McCaffrey, Quinshon, Jalen Warren, and Dowdle. I do think this can be enough. Now, similar to whenever I was making the argument earlier about the handcuff thing, like with Emmett Johnson and Kenny Skywalker, things are different with Warren and Dowdle. I do think Warren and Dowdle can both be good together. They both could theoretically hit a ceiling of weekly score that will be impactful for your team, even if they both stay healthy, because we just seen this last year with Jalen Warren being very good while Kenny Gainwell had weeks that he smashed. Jalen Warren, I think, can be the Kenny Gainwell and more because he's much better than Kenny Gainwell, but he could get a ton of passes, and Dowdle could get some good goal line work. So I'm in on it. McCaffrey, too, like with Gibbs or Bijan, can carry your team on any given week. You just count on him being healthy, and Quinshon is what he is, which could be a stud. We don't know. It's a bad team, but I like taking the gamble, so I'm in on it. Your wide receiver, before we get to the wide receivers, your tight ends, Loveland could be a stud. Jawan Johnson I like. Schultz I like. Schultz and Johnson with the same bye. That's okay because you have Loveland to cover you in week 8. It's a good tight end room. Wide receivers. So George Pickens, Zay Flowers, Michael Pittman, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Higgins, Stephon Diggs, Darnell Mooney, and Troy Franklin. So stack pieces. You stacked Pickens with Dak. Aaron Rodgers, you've got stacked with the running backs and Pittman. And then Brissett, no stack piece. Brissett was just to throw in a third quarterback at the end because you probably missed out on a quarterback, I'm assuming, at some point in the draft that you were looking at that you didn't get. So then you decided I need a third, and you went with the Jacoby route at 188. Yeah, 188 right before his ADP. I don't know if Tua was there. Either way, Tua Jacoby, I see that. I like your wide receivers. I don't love them. I like them. I think that Pickens and Zay Flowers are a good combo, but I kind of, anytime I have Pickens, this is me, I always like looking at my rosters after. If I have a wide receiver in the 1 and I add Pickens, I feel nervous when I get Pickens as a 1. Maybe it's because I'm so used to drafting him where I see him as not the top wide. I'm just not counting on him. He's so mentally flaky, but his upside, he's also so freaking good. His upside is so elite that I get, again, single entry. You just count on it. Zay Flowers is locked and loaded. I wish you had one other guy in between Zay Flowers and Pittman. That would make me feel a whole lot better. But overall, top to bottom, you've got a really nice team, Cleves. I know you are always drafting bangers on here with us. Next, we go to FK Coolers. FK Coolers from pick 10 has a 3-6-7-2. He went with Herbert, Stroud, and Daniel Jones. I almost said Daniel Dimes, but it's Danny Dimes. So Daniel Jones. Running backs. Omarion Hampton to pair. We already know we've got the pair pieces. Jadarian Price, RJ Harvey, Jordan Mason, Tajay Spears, Katron Allen. It's not my kind of running back room because I'm not a price drafter and I don't take a ton of Hampton. With this said, Hampton's upside, Price's upside, I 100% grant you and see, and I think Hampton could be a league winner. Price, I don't know. This is probably leads to my lack of watching college football, and I've not seen anything yet with him in the pros. I just don't have a great feeling about him. I haven't liked his ADP, but Corey was just making the argument for taking him when he took him on that last team of his in the previous draft. I like RJ Harvey a lot. I like Jordan Mason a lot. I'm in on Tajay Spears, and I'm in on Katron Allen. So I'm in on your bottom four, just not quite the top two in my own personal drafting opinion. Justin Jefferson, I love. Garrett Wilson, good enough, especially as a 2, and then McConkey as a 3. See, I would have taken McConkey and then seen if Wilson fell. You swapped it. Either way, you got them both. Jacoby Myers, Ryan Flournoy, Tank Dell, Calvin Ridley. I like all 4 of those. I like the upside of Flournoy, the hopeful comeback of Tank Dell. Ridley is what he is. Jacoby's steady as could be, and you've got your 3 big swings. It's a really nice wide receiver room. Tyler Warren and Likely, lock it up, load it, check, good to go. Big fan of your team, my friend. Good job, FK Coolers. Not a huge Likely guy. That's one I'm not big on, but I like the idea of Warren with one other guy, and you nailed it there. All right, we get to Joe. All right, Joe, buddy. Now, when you said you had the extra roster spot, and this is again, hey, buddy, I could be completely wrong here. I'm just telling you based off of my drafts, the way I feel for a team to work out. You got to get a ticket to move on. So before you, in the playoff weeks, a 1 quarterback build, absolutely. You give yourself more options at running back and wide receiver. If you could advance with this team, it could be a playoff week cheat code before I even look at it with Josh Allen and Josh Allen only. However, I don't think that quarterback is a position that you can get a ticket at unless you nail it. You have to nail the draft to take a 0 at quarterback. You can, I think, take a 0 at tight end. Tight ends don't score that much. Quarterbacks are always typically the highest score for your team on any given week. Not always, but typically they are. So guaranteeing yourself at least 1 week, let alone if Josh Allen were to get a concussion and miss another week. If Josh Allen misses 2 weeks, this team's just done. But in a solo shot, I will say I'm a little bit more apt to trying something like this in a solo shot compared to a normal tournament. Maybe I should think opposite of that, but either way, I would advise against, even with Josh Allen ever going 1. I do absolutely agree with Josh Allen, just go with 2, but make sure that it's someone who's a starter that's not got a week 7 bye. Like, you don't necessarily want Fernando Mendoza because he may not be even the quarterback starter by week 7. But if you had like a Geno, I think he'll be, I think that would have been a fine one because he'll be the starter come week 7. I'm almost sure of that. That's just one example. But let's see how you build out the rest of the team. Sorry to pause so long on the Josh Allen. When you said you had the extra roster spot, I didn't realize you meant you were only taking 1. I thought you meant by that you were going to take 2 instead of 3. So anyways, now we move on to your running backs. As a room, I love your room. James Cook, Ken Walker, Kyron, great from the top. Then Jonathan Brooks, I've been all aboard taking him this entire summer. Tyler Algier, all aboard taking him this entire summer. I do think you spin up too much, but it's a single entry. You got your guys. I don't have a problem with it. If you're bulk drafting in a tournament, like if this is a puppy and you're going to do 50 entries or 100 entries, right, in a 150 entry max tournament, I would not reach up like you did to grab those guys. You get them when you get them. You focus on them a little early, like maybe the Brooks, you can justify it's 10 picks. The almost 30 pick raise on Algier, I would not do in a normal, but in a single entry, I don't have any problem. I really like both the picks. It's the same with the Emmett Johnson thing and Kalen Black. On the reach up, no problem with taking them other than the Ken Walker Emmett thing we discussed earlier. It's just taking them that early, but again, it makes things a little bit different. Overall, though, I love your running back room. Your wide receiver room, DJ Moore, you waited till that point. You pair Josh Allen with DJ Moore. You reach up on Michael Wilson, another one. I love drafting Michael Wilson. I really like getting him around that pick, a 100 that his ADP is. I don't like spending up like you did, but again, get your guy season. This is a single entry. You got the person you believe in. I don't believe in Marvin Harrison. I think Micah Wilson flat out might be better. So I'm into what you did. Alec Pierce, I was talking about him. I like him at the almost 90 ADP. That's different than my cohorts here. Jalen Coker, I like drafting him. Deebo Samuel, I'll draft him. And then you went with Skylar Bell to get you another piece. As you saw, I took Keon Coleman. I like Keon Coleman. If I was you and I was reaching up, that's who I would have done. But I could be wrong. Skylar Bell could be better. Some people compared him to Jamar Chase, right? And then you got the Elijah Surratt pick. I've been in on that this whole summer as well. I like taking Surratt over Bateman when I'm shooting for a Baltimore piece, or Jacoby Lane, or Tez Walker. But I just liked what I saw from Surratt. And then Kincaid, so you're very Bills-centric with this. I love that you got your guys there. You got a single entry Josh Allen team. You're all in on the Bills. Hunter Henry, Darnell Washington. Hunter Henry is a really good 2 to Kincaid to steady out the hecticness or inconsistency of Kincaid. And then Darnell Washington, I've been in on him as well. I like taking him at the end. Colby Parkinson. There's a couple other late tight ends, Theo Johnson, a couple other guys at the end, but Darnell Washington is one of them. The Bills play in the playoffs. The last week they play Miami. They do play Denver and Chicago. That's something to think about on future if you're doing a Bills stack. Sometimes it's nice to throw in a few players from the teams that they play in the final weeks. Top to bottom, Joe, great team, buddy. I just don't know if you can get a ticket with having the one quarterback, and I would have done some things different, but I really love what you did overall. I think it's really cool. And like you said, you're grabbing some of your sleepers here with this. Thank you for drafting with us tonight. That was awesome. Did I get through everyone? I think I did. Okay. So let me catch up real quick on some comments here. Let's see. Gambling for $8. Don't know how many I'll do in football. You'll get some baseball money this week, Joe. Jump in once you get Wednesday or Thursday. You get some money in your account. We stream Tuesday nights and Saturday nights. So we'll be back Tuesday night. You may not have your baseball money in your account yet, but next Tuesday or this upcoming Saturday, come draft with us. I was looking at my BBMs and I have a CeeDee Lamb Pickens Neighbors draft. Oh, that may have been on a stream with us, Chad. I feel like I've talked about one of those teams with you before. And Chad's a big Giants drafter. I know you're going to have lots of Neighbors builds. I want my zeros to be RBs that I can take the role. Yeah, for sure, Top Gun. I agree with you 100%. Yeet Shadur. Chad loves him some Shadur. Good times, brother. Absolutely. I always do 3 tight end. Those points matter. I don't always do 3 tight end, but I like to do 3 tight end the majority of the time. Again, I'll do 2 if I have Bowers or McBride or Loveland. If I like my 2, if I don't feel great about my 2, I'll always try to add a third in. But will mostly do 3, especially if I wait. I will do 3. I have a few Jamar, Neighbors, Bowers. Oh, beautiful. Exactly what I was thinking. Nice. You definitely need one more quarterback. Oh, absolutely, Joe. You're welcome, my friend. It was in stream. That's what I thought. I just didn't like the options. I hear you. Was this your first one, Joe? Was this your first football draft at QB2? Joe, I mentioned the potential Geno option. If I was to pull the board back up here real quick, let me see. Do I have the board on the stage? I do. Let me tell you what I would have done and where to go. So 1773, and it would have been, I agree with everything up to it. It would have been this point. So in these rounds, the Emmett Johnson to Skylar Bell, one of these 3. So you could have taken, instead of Emmett Johnson, Bryce Young. You could have taken Aaron Rodgers, got either of them, and at least you would have had a base. They will be here in week 7. Bryce Young's not great, but he's at least has a floor of at least like 12 points, like at his worst. At least you're getting a 12 probably. Aaron Rodgers will probably get you like 15 to 16, at one of his worst games in that week 7. So you could have guaranteed yourself some extra points there. And then you could have still been fine because you probably could have sacrificed one of those running backs, just taken the other. If you would have waited where you took Skyler, you could have added Geno, Jacoby. That would have been the route to go, my opinion. Again, I agree with the not taking Mendoza, not taking Shadur, because we don't know that either of them would even be there in week 7. And then it's like, well, why did you even take them if Josh Allen's going to be better than them virtually every other week? But it also gives yourself that out for the potential spike playoffs, because even someone like Josh Allen can have bad weeks. Surprisingly enough, it does happen. First, I did 1 QB. Yeah, going for the snipe. I was thinking Young. Yeah, I see. I like Bryce Young. Not everyone does. Most people don't. Normally, when I draft Bryce Young, our boy Zero always throws in the chat for me. Let me know when he grows 8 inches. I mean, if he ever does, he'll be the first person that I message. Top 1 or 2, go, no, I didn't even look. Yeah, have fun at the movies. I go to church tomorrow and making dinner. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it. Guys, I would normally always stay on and do more drafts with you guys, especially when we have 20 people watching live. But I am going to see Spider-Man. It starts in 30 minutes, so I'm going to need to hit the road. But again, thank you all for drafting tonight with me and Corey. This was super fun. Normally we are in them together and we draft separate like we did tonight. I appreciate it. Don't like him to that point. I hear you, brother. Like half hour. Exactly. That's why I'm 30 minutes away from the theater. I knew I have a little bit of time to be able to get there, and I don't have to be there, right? And it's like reserved seats. So fingers crossed that I'm going to like it. I have been almost every time disappointed with Marvel over the last 5 years. There's a few exceptions, but Spider-Man typically is one of those exceptions. I normally like the Spider-Man movies. I've enjoyed all of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I really hope I like this one tonight. I haven't got any spoilers. I don't know if Sadie Sink is Jean Grey yet or not. I'm assuming she probably is, but I'll find out real soon. So thankfully the internet didn't spoil me on that. I'm glad. Says people have been able to spoil that for the last 2 days. So, all right. Well, guys, till next time, we'll be back. Oh, real quick, anyone who cares, that's baseball guy. I'm thinking probably Monday, maybe Monday night. It could be Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to jump on and talk about my baseball teams. Look at, again, the streams that we had. Talk about who got the tickets from our streams. I'm not going to go through every stream, but I am going to talk about the results. I'll talk about my teams, what my advance rates were. Looking forward to the playoffs. I'm just going to talk about some baseball with you guys. So anyone who wants to jump on, come and see me then. And until then, Tuesday night, we'll be back. Have fun, guys. Keep drafting. See y'all.